Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our talk with Joenio and electronic experimental music with Debian. Please give him an applause.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Thank you. Nice for coming. This is my first DebConf, my first talk at DebConf, also my first talk in English. Then I a little bit nervous, but I suppose I can do that. Then thank you. Thank you. This talk is a demonstration about the tools we have in Debian to play music, to compose music, to manipulate sounds, and to edit sounds, and things like that. Debian has a lot of tools, nice tools, to do this kind of things. And I started to do research and to do experiments with music and with sounds for about 1 year. And this talk is a resume about what I learned and what I am doing in this area. Then I need to start to speaking about some concepts, theoretical concepts about the electronic music. Electronic music is music made by electronic equipment. In detriment of electronic music, we have acoustic music. When I play a guitar, when I play a drum bass, is acoustic. When I use some software or use some synthesizer, analog synthesizer, modular synthesizer, I am doing electronic music. Electronic music is a result of many research. One of them is the concrete music. Research started by a guy called Pierre Schaeffer in France, but we have another kind of movements also, mainly in France and in German. In German we have a name is Stockenhausen, and is another guy which do some kind of research also. Concrete music starts a new form of creating music because originally music is only a kind of acoustic music. And then Pierre Schaeffer started to record sounds in the street, he records sounds in the city, and go back to his laboratory and do some kind of experiments using mainly tapes. Then this resulted in what we now called electronic music. But the pop music captured the concept of electronic music. Then when you think about electronic music today, we think in the kind of electronic music done by movement of the pop music. But originally, the electronic music is started from around the people doing research with sounds and things like that. At some point, research musicians, experimentalists adopted the term electroacoustic music. Then electroacoustic music is an umbrella term when you have all kinds of experimentation using acoustic, electronic, electromechanical, and so on. And then in this talk, I am speaking from the perspective of an experimentalist of electroacoustic music. Then this is kind of music I am doing using mainly Debian and specifically only free software in general. I don't use any kind of proprietary software, and I am using mainly Debian. Then I will start to show a set of tools I am using and to us. But before I start, I need to talk about two important concepts: sample and synthesizer. Sample is what Sheffer in the concrete music started, is sounds recorded, any kind of sound. For example, I will play here.
Everything. Everything.
This is a sample. This is a sample. This is a sample. Any kind of sound previously recorded is a sample. And I can use this sample to make new music. Synthesizers are instruments able to generate all kinds of sounds, sometimes imitating traditional instruments like electric guitar, or electric bass, a drum bass, or imitating natural sounds like water, like human voices, and things like that. Then synthesizers are instruments able to generate sounds. Synthesizers are strongly related with the oscillator's evolution. Oscillators is a piece of electronic engineer, and this kind of piece has many applications. For example, in this picture, we have oscillator used to do the clock of computers. And oscillators can generate different waves, kind of waves, forms of waves. For example, this in the picture generates a wave in the square form, but we have any other kind of waves or in form of waves. Synthesizers are formed by four kinds. Apart from the oscillators, we have amplifier, filters, envelope, and LFO. LFO is a kind of oscillator. All kind of synthesizers has formed by these four elements. Then, since the first synthesizers, analog synthesizers, to the soft synthesizers, then we have any kind of combination of these four elements: amplifier, filter, envelope, and LFO. The first synthesizers are Buchla 100 and Moog synthesizer. This was the first ones, analog synthesizers, built in 1965. These are the first one, but since there we have evolution, and we have many kinds of different synthesizers, and we have what we call soft synth. It's synthesized in software form. Then we have software which implement some kind of synthesizer. And what I will show here in this presentation is some kind of soft synths. In Debian, we have many of them packaged, and we can install easily, running apt install and the name of the package. Before, I need to talk about Jack. Jack is a Jack Audio Connection Kit. Is a tool that provides a basic infrastructure for audio application to communicate to each other. Is a kind, I usually to think Jack as a kind of Unix pipes. You can redirect audio sources as input to another tool. Then you can connect many different tools using Jack. In Jack support many features. For example, we can use MIDI with Jack. We can connect with external equipment, hardware equipment using Jack through MIDI. Then the first, the first synthesized soft synth I will show is the AM synth. It's a nice one. Is the what I use mostly. Is a soft synthesizer with dual oscillates. Is a easy to use soft synth with a classic subiterative synthesizer topology. Then I will open it and play the full sound, only to see this. They come with many presets, then we can use the presets they have, but I can configure it. Ah, sorry, you are lucky. Sorry. They have many presets. I can use MIDI and connect G synthesize with any of kind of other tools to make sounds. I can find my self sound if I would to make a specific sound. I can choose the kind of the oscillator wave. This soft synth has two oscillators. Then AM synth is a nice piece of software. I like very much. Then another nice one is set B3. I need to start Jack. I will put in the screen, Jack. Set B3 is a tuning wheel. Is an implementation that imitates a kind of electromechanical organ. Another one is the Pad TV1. Is a polyphonic synth is able to play multiple notes at once. Monophonic synths can play one single note, but the polyphonic synth is able to play multiple notes. Let's see the kind of sound they do. To play, I will need a MIDI keyboard, and I need to connect the jack. I am using MIDI here. The keyboard is connected to the synth through MIDI. Then I connect the audio output to the system output. Then I can play now. Obviously, I can change anything here in looking for any kind of sound I need. Then they have some effects also. For example, We have reverb. That's it. Another interesting tool is the Drum Kit V1. Is a kind of mix of synthesizing and samplers. I can load samples. For example, I loaded before some audio samples here. This Pac-Man is sounds I already having in my laptop. Then I load some of them here. Then I can load some samples and apply some kind of synthesis on these samples and play like a synthesizer. Okay. There is so many soft synth packages into Debian. It is a small list, but we have so many more. If you want more, you'll find a nice and extensive list in Wiki of Linux Audio. If you like drums, we have Hydrogen. I don't use Hydrogen. Then I loaded a sample here, and I will play this sample only to see this kind of sound. And we have effects also, when we can use the laptop to do effects if you play guitar or if you play bass, electric bass, you can use your laptop as in detriment of the traditional pedals. But we can also connect these effects to another tools. For example, I can plug the audio output of hydrogen with the hack using. I can use hydrogen and I can apply some effects on its output using jack. Then I disconnect the hydrogen output to sound system. Then I connect the output of the hack to my system, and I plug the hydrogen output to hack. Then I can plug any kind of tool with any other kind of tools using jack. Here I am. I am send the audio output produced by the hydrogen to the hack and applying the hack effects and on its sound. Guitar Hicks is another kind of effect too, like hack. Both are quite similar. But if you need something more integrated, you have the LMMS also. And LMMS is a tool, an integrated tool. I don't use it also. Then I will open a sample, a file sample here and play to see the kind of sound it can do. Oh. I need to connect the oops. No, I don't need jack to play. And then at LMMS, you can use the another tools into the LMMS also. You can use the effects of rack, effects of guitar rigs, or the soft synth provided by the AM synth into the LMMS because we have a kind of plugin infrastructure called LADSPA. This, all most tools, when installed in your system, they is available as plugin also. Then you can use the effects as plugins in another tools. Then I can load, for example, IM synth effects into the LMMS or another tool because almost of them install a kind of plugin in the system also. For example, I can load into Ardo any plugin. For example, I will show here. I can load the set be free effect into the Ardo using these plugins infrastructure. Ardo is a digital audio workstation when you can use it to record, to play live, to edit, and so on. I loaded here wave file, the Stallman singing free software song. Then I can apply the, for example, set be free effect. Then we have a kind of integration among the tools using this plugin infrastructure. Okay. Then this plugin infrastructure plus jack, plus lot of synths, effects, and tools, makes Debian a very flexible and integrated audio environment. I know we have some proprietary, and I have many friends using FL Studio, Ableton, and things like that. But we can do all the things these another proprietary tools do into the Debian. Maybe sometimes more easily, maybe sometimes more difficult, but it's possible. And we have much options. We have many options, and we can do what our imagination permit. But if you like to code, if you like to hack, if you like to program to write code, then you will like to do live coding. Live coding is a new direction in electronic music in video. Live code exposes in reality the innards of software while it generates improvised music and or visuals. We have many tools in many languages to do live coding. Here is a little list. We have SuperCollide, is maybe the most known and the most mature piece of language to write code to make music and to make some sounds. But we have many others. For example, Sonic Pi is a live coding environment based in Ruby language, and TidalCycles is a Haskell-based live coding environment. Foxdot, Chuck, Gibber, and many others. If you like to see a more extensive list, you can see this link on the GitHub. We have a huge list with tools in program language to do live coding. And now I will do some performance using TidalCycles, which is the environment I am using to make music and to make experiments. Unfortunately, TidalCycles isn't packaged into Debian. We have some piece of the TidalCycles packaged, but we have another piece of the necessary to run TidalCycles isn't packaged totally in Debian yet. Okay, let's go. I prepare a little code to this presentation because I am not good doing all the code live. I'm using the free software song sample here. Thank you, thank you. If you like, if you want to see this kind of perform in your city, then you should look for search for Algorev in your city. Algorev.com is a site where the community doing live coding resist local events. Thank you. I think we have some time to question. And we have no question. You have question?
Wow, Joenio, thank you very much for sharing this beautiful art with us. It was wonderful, all the demonstration. And I would like to ask you if you have some documentation, personal notes, or something that you have shared through some blog or website to learn how to use this?
I think you can find all kind of documents in here, this site. This site is a community had started to organize and to document and to start new communities around the live code. Then starting from there, you will find how you need in live coding community.
Obrigado.
De nada.
Also, thanks for sharing all this survey on the software available in Debian related to music. And I would like just to know if you know about some integration with hardware boards for all the controls, because sometimes it's a bit difficult to actually use mouse and keys if you are not doing live coding anyway. Yeah. But do you know anything about the integration with boards, external boards?
Using live code specifically?
No. What I mean is like using live coding, naturally you mainly need a keyboard, but if you are doing, for instance, all this integration with Ardor or using Ardor, you need a lot of...
It's possible. I have no experience with things like that. I did a small experiment using Arduino, for example, to send some parameters to the live code. Then I can control, for example, the amplifier of the code, reading any kind of input. Then you can construct your hardware, or you can configure any kind of product. It's possible, but I have no many experience with kinds like that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, thank you. It was a great demo. I'm curious about the code. Can you open the code and maybe walk through it a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, do you have loops? And like, if you could just taste of what you're doing there.
Yeah, I can explain a little bit. I will put a little bit of volume. Here in this environment, we have a kind of cycle. The name TidalCycle comes from that. Then we have one cycle for second. Then this loop is always running in this environment. We can't stop that. Then I can play any kind of sounds to play into this cycle. For example, here I put only the CP. CP is a sample. I can play CP 2 times, but they will play these 2 into the same cycle. You know? You see? Then we have a cycle, and when I change what I am playing, they keep this cycle and they adjust the time between the samples they will play. I don't know if I can respond. And we can change the seconds a cycle have. I can use set cycle per second, and can use a chart. I can tell I need 2 cycles 4 seconds, or 4 cycles 4 seconds. The default is 1 when we have 1 cycle per second. The TidalCycles implement a kind of DSL here. We have a MIDI language here. When you do many interesting things, I can play, for example, the first one here only of two cycles. Then they will play in one cycle, then they don't play in another cycle. And then here in this string we have a MIDI language running.
And one more question. Then how each time are you saving the file each time, or when does it interpret again or change? Is it or is it live?
Repeat, please. I can't understand you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So when does the software get your change on the file? Is there?
I need to hit Shift Enter.
Okay.
Then they will execute only when I am when the cursor is. The cursor is here. Then I hit Shift Enter. They will execute
each line.
This piece of code, each line. Yes. Then we have many different parts of code running independently. I can execute any part of the code with no relation.
And then can you, let's say you start playing this, then can you go down with the cursor and Shift Enter and it will start a second one and the other continues?
For example, I can change many codes here. For example, I will put a different code here, but I will not hit Shift Enter here. And I will put another sound here to play together. And when I hit Shift Enter in this line, they don't touch what was already running before in the line above.
Great. Thanks.
Time is up. Then, thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the interest.